Welcome to Integers, lesson number 8, order of operations with mixed integers. So in the last lesson, while we were getting familiar with the concept, we only used positive integers. So we were only using integers with positive signs, as well as only using addition by way of addition or subtraction. We didn't do any subtraction. So in today's lesson, we're going to get a chance to try that, now that we've got the concept down, with numbers a little more complicated, or with operations, I guess, a little more complicated. Same thing, quick review. First, we are going to be completing multiplication and division from left to right when we're doing our order of operations. And we're going to follow that second by completing addition and subtraction from left to right. So that's the piece we have to remember. Still the same, multiplication and division first from left to right as they show up, followed by, when we're done that, addition and subtraction from left to right as they show up. Let's try example number 1. Example number 1 says, perform the correct order of operations on the following integers, negative 15 divided by positive 5 plus negative 1. So, same as before, we're going to look at these three integers that we have, and going from left to right, we're going to look at the pairs and see where the first multiplication and division shows up. And here it is right here. Negative 15 divided by positive 5. So we're going to perform that first. This piece that follows it, the addition of negative 1, we're going to do that afterwards. We're going to tackle that in the next step, or a subsequent step. So I have negative 15 divided by positive 5. So I notice right off the bat that I have a negative integer being divided by a positive integer. So those are different signs. That tells me that my quotient, my answer, is going to be negative. And negative 15 divided by positive 5 is negative 3. Now I'm going to put that in brackets because that's how we've been using our integers. And then I'm going to write out the stuff that we didn't use from the last line, which is plus bracket negative 1. So there it is. So next line, we are going to look to do any addition or subtraction that shows up. In this case, we only have two terms, and it's addition, so that works for us. We're just going to add them as they are. So we have negative 3 plus negative 1. So our answer is going to be a still larger pile of negatives, and we are going to have negative 4 as our answer. And that was example number 1. Let's have a look at example number 2, just to observe and sort of participate in some variations on this. So example number 2, perform the correct order of operations on the following integers. Let's have a look. We have positive 9 subtract positive 1 times negative 2. Okay, let's have a look here. Same as before, we're going to start left to right. We're looking for division and multiplication. So there's positive 9 subtract positive 1. Okay, so that's subtraction. We're going to wait on that, so we don't want to use that. Let's look at the next pair. We have a plus 1 multiplied by negative 2. This works. That's going to be the piece that we do first, and we're going to leave that positive 9 subtract something. We're going to leave that for the next line. So I'm going to write that out right now. Positive 9 subtract something. The something is going to be our answer to positive 1 times negative 2. So I look at those signs. I see that we have a positive first integer followed by a negative second integer. So we're multiplying integers with different signs. That tells me that our result is going to be negative. And 1 times 2 gives me 2. So that's the end of that line. Now we're going to try to perform addition and subtraction when they show up. So here we have an opportunity to remember all the way back to the beginning of the unit. We have a positive 9 subtract. And we don't like subtract because when we're talking about combining integers, we like addition. Addition is what makes sense to us. So I'm going to change that subtraction to addition. But, as you remember, I also have to change the sign of the integer immediately after it in order to affect the change I'm after. So I have changed subtraction to addition, and now I'm going to change a negative 2 to a positive 2. That's what I've done right there. So now I'm going to rewrite this just because I think it's important to get a clear rewrite. Plus 9 plus positive 2. And now I'm going to combine positive 9 and positive 2. My result will be positive. I have 9 pluses. I'm going to add another 2 pluses to it. That's going to give me 11 pluses, or plus 11 if you prefer. And that's the answer to example number 2. So, same stuff as we did in the last lesson, just have to remember a little bit more about the addition and subtraction with respect to the signs as well as the multiplication and division. So let's try example A. I'll get you guys to do that on your own. When you've got an answer to example A, come on back to the video and we'll see how you did. So hit pause right now, work it out, come on back when you're done. Alright, let's get a look at this. Same as before, we're looking for multiplication and division as they show up as we look across our expression left to right. So there is our minus 4 multiplied by minus 4. Okay, so that's a multiplication. That's good. We're going to do that first. Everything that comes after it, the adding negative 10, we're just going to leave that until the next line. So we have a negative 4 being multiplied by a negative 4. That tells us that we are going to have a positive product or a positive result, and 4 times 4 gives us 16, so that's good. And now I'm going to write out the rest of that line that I didn't use, which is plus negative 10. So that's looking good. Now I'm going to look for any addition or subtraction left to right. Now this is being added, as we can see right here, and that's good. I like combining using addition. That's how we did it earlier on. So we have a plus 16 plus, or adding to, negative 10. So in this case, the integers have different signs. So what we're going to have is actually an integer that's a combination of these two. So let's look at the bigger integer. Which is the bigger of these two integers? It's the 16. That tells us that the sign of our answer is going to be positive. And 16 and 10, when combined, a positive 16 and a negative 10 results in a difference of 6. Which means that our answer is going to be positive 6. So this one was a little bit tricky. Again, listen to this piece again if you need further clarification on the steps that we did. But for those of you who got it right and are feeling good, let's try example B now. Again, hit pause in the video, give B a try. When you've got an answer, come on back and we'll see how you did. Alright, you're back. Let's get a look at this. Again, as we look left to right, we're looking for multiplication and division. Positive 7 subtract positive 6. Okay, that's subtraction. We're not doing that. We are looking for multiplication and division. So we'll leave that one. Let's go to the next pair. Positive 6 divided by positive 2. Alright, this is looking better. That is division. That's what we're going to do first. So let's write out the rest of that line that comes before it. We're going to save that for the second step. So there we have a positive 7, subtract, and now we're going to figure out, well, what's the answer to positive 6 divided by positive 2? We've got two positive integers, which means that our quotient will also be positive. And 6 divided by 2 will give us 3. So far we have positive 7 subtract positive 3. This is looking good. We're now going to move on to addition and subtraction, but we want to be combining using addition, and this one's got subtraction in it. So what I'd like to do is change subtraction to addition, but I also have to change the sign of the integer that comes after it. So that's going to be a negative 3 now. Now I'm going to take the time, as I said before, to rewrite this just for the sake of clarity. So I have plus 7 plus negative 3. This looks like something I can combine. Again, I have two integers, different signs here. So which of these two integers is the largest integer? It's going to be positive 7, which tells me my answer will be positive. And the difference between 7 and 3 is 4. So our answer is going to be positive 4. And that's the end of lesson number 8. If you're feeling good about the material, head off to the worksheet. If you need some clarification, please listen to portions of the video again. And we'll see you at the review and unit test.